Okay, we're just getting breaking news here. Documentary was released, Terrain, by Dr. Andrew Kaufman yesterday. And apparently, Dr. Stefan Lanka did an experiment last year. I'm going to read what they say. On April 21st, 2021, Dr. Stefan Lanka announced the first results from the first and only controlled experiment to date to determine if the cells die, cytopathic effect. There's no virus in the experiment. And they were using cell culture, which is how they supposedly isolate viruses. And there's some things you're not allowed to talk about on YouTube. For example, my recent interview with Louis Beatty from the Land Down Under about the Dr. Stefan Lanka Tribute Center. You can now watch that over at BitChute. There was no infected sample added to this experiment. Breaking news here. Only the culture itself. The culture ingredients were the same as used in virologists' isolation experiments. So Dr. Stefan Lanka just hit over that house of numbers. The tissue culture cells were prepared using full nutrition until they were ready to start the experiment. They reduced the nutrients from 10% to 1% as a virologist protocol, starvation diet, at the start of the experiment. They added a triple dose of antibiotics as exactly the same way virologists do it. It reminds me of John Franklin Enders and the measles experiments in the 50s, which established the protocol for how they observe what they say is the effects of virus, cell death, but they have a whole witch's brew that they use, and they don't do a control study. They continued in this movie to say, by day 1, early damage to the cells was observed. By day 5, full cytopathic effects, dying cells were present, proving that the culture medium itself killed the tissue culture cells because there was no sick sample added that could have contained virus. I believe that Dr. Stefan Lanka, working with independent German labs, also did a similar type of study during the measles trial, where he offered to pay $100,000 to anybody that would prove that measles was a virus. And he had an independent lab prove a similar hypothesis.